Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for more future videos like this. And also share this video with your friends.
React.js interview questions and answers. What is React? React is a front-end JavaScript library developed by Facebook in 2011. It follows a component-based approach which helps in building reusable UI components. It is used for developing complex and interactive web and mobile UI. Even though it was open sourced only in 2015, it has one of the largest communities supporting it. What are the features of React? Major features of React are listed below. It uses the virtual DOM, which means document object model, instead of using real DOM. It uses server-side rendering. It follows unidirectional data flow or data binding. What is JSX? JSX is a shorthand for JavaScript XML. This is a type of file used by React which utilizes the expressiveness of JavaScript along with HTML-like template syntax. This makes the HTML file really easy to understand. This file makes applications robust and boosts its performance. You can see an example of JSX here. What do you understand by virtual DOM? A virtual DOM is a document object model, is a lightweight JavaScript object which originally is just the copy of real DOM. It is a node tree that lists the elements, their attributes, and content as objects and their properties. React's render function creates a node tree out of the React components. It then updates this tree in response to the mutations in the data model, which is caused by various actions done by the user or by the system. Why can't browsers read JSX? Browsers can only read JavaScript objects, but JSX is not a regular JavaScript object. Thus, to enable a browser to read JSX, first we need to transform JSX file into a JavaScript object using JSX transformers like Babel and then pass it to the browser. Explain the purpose of render function in React. Each React component must have a render function mandatorily. It returns a single React element which is the representation of native DOM component. If more than one HTML element needs to be rendered, then they must be grouped together inside one enclosing tag such as form tag, group tag, div tag, etc. This function must be kept pure, that is, it must return the same result each time it is invoked. What is props? Props is the shorthand for properties in React. They are read-only components which must be kept pure, that is, immutable. They are always passed down from the parent to the child components throughout the application. A child component can never send a prop back to the parent component. This helps in maintaining the unidirectional data flow and are generally used to render the dynamically generated data. What is a state in React and how is it used? States are the heart of React components. States are the source of data and must be kept as simple as possible. Basically, states are the objects which determine components rendering and behavior. They are mutable unlike the props and create dynamic and interactive components. They are accessed via this .state function. What is arrow function in React and how is it used? Arrow functions are more of brief syntax for writing the function expression. They are also called fat arrow, the functions. These functions allow to bind the context of components properly since in ES6, auto binding is not available by default. Arrow functions are mostly useful while working with the higher order functions. What happens if you don't use the parenthesis while defining an arrow function that accepts one parameter? If you don't use parenthesis while defining an arrow function that accepts one parameter, then the function will automatically return the value of the parameter. How would you define an arrow function that doesn't take any parameters at all? An arrow function that doesn't take any parameters would look like this. What is the purpose of default parameters in arrow functions? When should we use them? Default parameters in arrow functions are used to provide a default value for a parameter in case no value is passed in for that parameter. This can be useful in a number of situations, such as when you want to provide a default value for a parameter that is likely to be omitted by the user. What's the best way to make sure that our code works on several browsers without worrying about compatibility issue related to arrow functions? The best way to make sure that our code works on several browsers without worrying about compatibility issues related to arrow functions is to use transpiler. A transpiler is a tool that converts code from one language to another. In this case, it would take our code written in ES6 with arrow functions and convert it into ES5 code, which is compatible with all the browsers. What is transpiling? Transpiling is the process of converting code from one language to another. In the case of arrow functions, this would mean converting code written in ES6 to ES5. This is important because arrow functions are not yet supported by all browsers. By transpiling the code, you can ensure that your code will still run even if the browser does not support arrow functions.
Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for more future videos like this. And also share this video with your friends.